Hare Krishna. Welcome to the online Facebook lecture. Actually, we are now in marathon, Bhagavad Gita marathon. So in Bhagavad Gita marathon, we are presenting important verses of Bhagavad Gita, and we are lecturing on Bhagavad Gita and various important verses. So today topics of discussion is the mind, actually mind control. 6.6 of Bhagavad Gita say don't go behind the mind but go beyond the mind. Means don't rule the mind, don't let the mind rules you. So before we start the discussion on this very good important subject matter, we will offer our Mangalachar to our spiritual master and predecessor Acharya. अमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञान अंजनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदं सगण श्री ललितां श्री विशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So thank you very much. Today is very important subject matter. Today's subject matter is the mind. Controlling mind is your best friend. Mind is the greatest enemy. The control mind is your best friend, and the uncontrolled mind is your greatest enemy. So therefore you should not go behind the mind, you go beyond the mind. You just rule the mind. Do not let the mind rules you. Do not make the mind your servant, your master, but your servant. Because mind is a tormentor, is not our mentor. So therefore do not come under the subordination of mind, under the detection of the mind. So today this verses is there in Bhagavad Gita 6.6. Hare Krishna is speaking that how the mind is one's best friend and one greatest enemy. So we will go to the verse first, and then we can discuss on the subject matter more elaborately. So here the verse is so Bandhur, it is stated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Krishna stated that how the mind is so important to control the mind. Bandhur atma atmanastasya enatmevi atmanajita atmanastu satrute bhattete atmaneva satruvat. Translation: for him who has conquered the mind is best of friend. But for one has failed to do so, his mind will remain in the greatest enemy. So here Krishna say, those who have conquered the mind or control the mind is the best friend. And but for one has failed to do so, the mind will remain the greatest enemy. So in both the cases, our friend and enemy is sitting with us. The mind is sitting with us. If it is controlled, it will act as a great friend and help us to advance in spiritual progress. But if we give freedom to the mind, if it is not controlled, then what will happen? It will destroy us. It will completely destroy us. Therefore, the whole Vedic scriptures, the very first statement is the how to control the mind. Otherwise, it will destroy us. Because the mind gets this knowledge from the senses. Senses are supplying knowledge to the mind, all outside knowledge to the mind. And with that knowledge, mind is interacting with the external world. That means soul is engaging mind as an agent to communicate or interact with the external world. And but mind has a problem. Mind has a proclivity, this inherent proclivity to engage in the sense gratification, to enjoy it, to chilling out. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, that the proclivity of the mind, you can see in this verse 11, 13, 25, that my dear son, the mind has a natural proclivity, is an inherent, intrinsic, natural proclivity to enter into the material sense object. Similarly, sense object enter into the mind. But both this material mind and sense object are merely designation that cover the spirit soul, which is part and parcel of me. So Krishna is speaking here that this mind has a natural proclivity to enter into sense object. Therefore, to give the freedom to the mind is very dangerous. It degrades us. It gives the upper hand. It gives the Maya as a Maya to upper hand. Because Maya is dictating us through the mind. Through the mind is dictating us. Because mind is very soft. Mind is either can be strong, Maya either can be friend or enemy. When it is enemy, Maya taking the advantages of that. So when you giving the uncontrolled mind means giving upper hand to the Maya. And Maya shows the attitude of now Maya is now dictating us. The Maya attitude is condescending. Maya attitude is very dictatorial. Therefore, controlling the mind is very, very essential, very, very important, paramount important for the devotees. It is stated in that. It is stated also in this same canto, that 11, 13, 17. The sages said with the Lord's people mind are naturally attracted to material sense objects. Similarly, sense object in the form of desire enter within mind. Therefore, how can a person who desire liberation, who desire to cross over the activity of sense gratification, destroy this mutual relationship between the sense object and mind? Please explain to this. See, this is the question has been asked by the sage headed by Sanakrushi to Lord, my Lord, how it is possible? Because mind and sense object, they are totally integrated. So how to separate that mutual relationship between the mind and sense object? How to separate them? Without separating them, mind is always inside and sense is inside the mind. They are totally intertwined, integrated. So it's very difficult to control. Very difficult. It is stated it is very difficult to control the mind because it is always going after some kind of. It is stated in. It is stated in this verse 11, 16, transcendentally does not completely control his word mind by superior intelligence will find that spiritual vows, austerity, charity flows away just as water flows out of an unbaked clay pot. This is dangerous of that. If mind is uncontrolled, what will happen? Because the problem is that we are in a war. Prabhupada says that this spiritual life is Krishna consciousness is a declaration of war against the Maya. So in a war, we are all ambushed, attacked by the Maya, because material world is ruled by the Maya. And if we are casual, that means we are suicidal. In a war, if we are not casual, we are not equipped or we are not alert, that means we are suicidal. We will be killed by, we will be destroyed by the enemies. If in a war, if you are casual, means you are suicidal. So therefore, so we have to be very alert, we have to be very equipped. If we do not equip, we will be killed by the Maya, we will killed by the enemy. So mind is, when it is uncontrolled, then Maya will attack us and we will be destroyed, we will be defeated, we will be vanquished. So therefore, those who are devotee, transcendentalists, if they are not to control the mind with superior intelligence, all these spiritual vows, austerity, charity, they flow away like unbaked clay pot. And it is practically, we have seen devotees are chilling out, because mind has this propensity of chilling out. And while in sadhana bhakti, we have seen practically rampantly seen devotees are chilling out with YouTube video, unwanted things like Facebook, WhatsApp, unnecessary, without using up then no preaching, and simply browsing that for their sense gratification. So many social media, Instagram, this, that. So in this way, it is like giving a freedom to the mind. So in this way, we are jeopardizing our spiritual progress. We are stagnating. We have rampantly seen devotees are so much seeking after this kind of viral video and all. As a result, they stagnate their spiritual progress. They jeopardize their spiritual progress. Therefore, it is stated in this verse 11:16:43 that just like a clay pot, in a clay pot, unbaked clay pot, if there is a little bit of is not properly, actually the clay pot is bagged to hold the water substances. If there is a small hole, what will happen? All the water will seep out. Similarly, when the devotees who is not so alert to control the mind, then the Maya will attack, and Maya will jeopardize or stagnate and impede our spiritual progress. Therefore, all the scriptures say that controlling the mind. Without controlling the mind, without controlling the sense, one cannot achieve the success. There is no question of success in spiritual progress without controlling the mind. Because mind is the agent. Because of the mind we have come. Because of this mind, because of listening to the mind, we have strength from the Lord. We have come from the spiritual existence. We have been here in the jail. We have been in these precarious conditions. We have been in this predicament of undergoing birth, death, old age, in this material existence, vicious cycle of material existence, because of mind. So because mind wanted to enjoy, sense enjoyment, therefore we have separated from the Lord. Therefore one should not give power of attorney to mind. One should not give authority to rule the mind. Therefore Krishna says mind is our same mind which is sitting with us. It can be a greatest friend, greatest enemy. If we control the mind, it will act very nicely. Controlling the mind means engaging in the service of the Krishna by devotional service. In this way, mind is controlled. There is no scope of thinking other than Krishna. Therefore, mind is automatically controlled, and he is our best friend. He will make us go back to Godhead. He will exonerate us from this material bondage. But when you are not controlling the mind, then it will act as an enemy. It will drag us to sense of death, because it has a natural proclivity. So it will drag us again to sense object. Enjoy the sense. Oh, why you enjoy this song? Very good YouTube, very good very good food, very good shelter, very good this, very good that. So many things, so many glamorous things, material glamorous things. So it will drag into that. As a result, we will be in a very, very imbroglio, very dangerous situation we will be. It will be dangerous situation. Therefore, Krishna say that in the very, very previous verses of Bhagavad Gita 6.5, Krishna say that one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is a friend of the conditioned soul and is an enemy as well. So one should upgrade, one should not degrade it. Because one is degrade it, then we will again undergoing the material existence. That is not good, that is very miserable. Again birth, death, disease, old age. We have been lost 155 trillion year according to Vedic calculation. We have already wasted 155 trillions of year in this material world without being, get out from this material existence. And only because of the culprit mind, because we are listening to the mind. Therefore, the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that we get off, the first thing you do that you beat your mind 100 times in the shoes. Beat your mind, control your mind, tame your mind, because it is dragging us to the material sense object. Because material sense object is very flickering, very fleeting. Because life is very, very nothing. Therefore, one of the beautiful song, it is said that in Bhajaure mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Aravindare. Bhajaure mana, oh my dear mind, please engage in the service of the Supreme Lord Krishna, Govinda. Why Govinda? You see, I will show you that beautiful song. Then we will go to other verses to explain that. Here you can see here, this is beautiful verses by Govinda Das. Bhajaure mana. Yeah, here the beautiful verses. Bhajaure mana Sri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charana Dullabha Manava Janma Satsange Toro Bhava Sindhure. Bhajaure mana, my dear mind, please engage in the service of the Lord. Dullabha Manava Janma is very dullabha, very rare. Dullabha Manusya Janma. Because it is said that Labdashu Dullabham Idam Bahu Sambhambate. Very, very rarely object. Dullabha Manusya Janma. And what is that? Dullabha Manusya Janma. Tatrapita Dullabha, the Dullabha Manusya Janma, Tatrapita Dullabha Khanabhangura. I mean, it is said that this, although it is very momentary, still it is very Dullabha. Dullabha Manusya Janma. Tarohe Bhava Sindhure. And the aim of life is Tarohe Bhava Sindhure, to cross the ocean of material nations. The aim of the human form of life, which is very rarely obtained. After many lifetime of evolution process, we have got this human form of life, which is very rare. Dullabha Manusya Janma Dehinam Khenamangura. Dullabha Manusya Janma. Manusya Janma is very dullabha. Dehinam Khenamangura, but it is still momentary. At any time it will be die. Therefore, it is said that before we die, tunam jatita na pated anumurtu javan. Before we die, we should taroho e bhava sindhure. We should cross the material nations. Sita tapa bata barisana. Then one may ask the question, sir, if I put my mind on Krishna only, then what about my wealth, or my job, my wife, my children, whatever? It is stated here that that Sita atapa bata barisana edi na jamini jagire bifala sebinu kurpana durjana chapala sukha labha lagire. Why you are under the dictation of mind? Because you want to just serve these people, those who are not actually beneficial for you. Those who are chapala sukha, a little bit of flickering happiness, fleeting existence, you have got the fleeting existence, flickering happiness. What you are doing? You are serving the Durjana. You are serving these people who are not worth of your service. You are Sita Atapa, you are scorching sun with cold and with scorching sun. You are working so, stressful, exceedingly busy life, enormous stressful life. We are undergoing all the things simply for a fleeting existence, flickering happiness, very little happiness, tiny happiness. ए धन जौवन पुत्र परिजन इत्थे की अच्छे पर तिथिरे कमल दल जल जीवन टलमल भजहुरे हरिपाद नीतिरे. So what is there the happiness in the fleeting happiness? A dhana, wealth, jovana, youth, putra, son, parijana, relative. Ite ki achi paratitire. What is this happiness? What is the love in this? Because it is flickering, it is fleeting, it is flying, it is fading. All this relationship, all this wealth, all this youth, everything is passing phase. It is flying, fading. So kamala dala jala jivana talamala. The life is tottering, life is tilting, just like a water drop on the lily leaf, lotus flowers leaf, lily leaf. It is tilting. Similarly, our life is tottering, tilting. Any moment we can die. Any moment. Padam padam yad vipadam natesam. Padam padam yad vipadam. Every step is a dangerous. Bhagavatam says that every step is a dangerous. Any time, any moment we can confront the death. We do not know. Any moment. We have no guarantee that. So, therefore, it is said that human form of life is like a kamala dala jala jivana tolamala. Jivana is tolamala. Jivana means the life is very tolamala, means tottering, tilting, very tilting. Any moment it can die. Just like a drop of water on the leaf of lotus flower, leaf of the lotus, it will drop any time. Similarly, we can drop anytime, we can die anytime. All our so-called status quo can be destroyed anytime. We cannot maintain our status quo, either by advancement of technology or by any political maneuvering or economic development. Therefore, it is said that you bhajaure manasri nandana abhacharananaminda. We are always with fear, insecure, because we are tottering, we are tilting, we are existing in a very non-existential platform. Any time we can be kicked out, we will be forced to kicked out. There is existential disharmony, discordant dilemma. Consequently, we have been very precarious situation. We have been very precariously tottering and tilting situation. Any moment we can be eliminated. Therefore, we should engage our mind in Krishna. That is our aim of life, not that degrading. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.5 and 6.6 that we should upgrade ourselves, elevate ourselves with the mind, because mind is the only things that drag us to the material sense object. Therefore, we have to be very careful to how to control the mind. It is stated in the beautiful 5, 11, 17 verses, beautiful verses 5, 11, 17. This uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. Again, it is substantiated. Krishna say the uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy. Here it is substantiated even in Srimad Bhagavatam 5, 11, 17. The uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it and give it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O King, please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of spiritual master and supreme personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. Do this with great care. See, it is said that it is the greatest enemy. If you neglect it, no, let it be go, you will not be alert. You should be alert. If you let it go, then what will happen? It will grow more and more powerful and become victorious. It will capture us. It will capture. And when it will capture us, it will cover our constitutional position of the soul. Then we will be thinking that, oh, I am the product of this material energy. It covers our constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. We will be thinking, I am the master, I am the doer, I am the master. The false ego. Mind with the help of false ego, thinking I am the master. So I do not surrender to the Lord. So I will be in this way, I will be in a Maya. You deluded with the material energy, deluded with Maya and undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore it is stated in these verses also, to conquer the mind, we need to have a weapon. Just like I told you, in a war, to be casual is to be suicidal. We cannot be casual. We must be alert as well as equipped. We should be alert always, that let the mind do not go. It is here it is said that you should be alert. You should not neglect the mind. Once you neglect the mind, it will go and give the freedom. it will grow powerful and eventually become victorious and capture us and covers our constitutional position. We will be deluded. Therefore, we must be alert as well as equipped with the weapon. What is that weapon? The service to spiritual master, lotus feet and supreme lord. That means following the instruction of the spiritual master by following regulative principle and engaging in the service of the Lord, we will conquer the mind. That is the weapon. Two things is very important. First of all, you have to alert always, you have to equip with the weapon. Then only we can conquer the Maya. Otherwise, conquer the enemy, conquer the mind. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is stated in very good that how we should be very alert. There is a very good verses here, 562. I'll show you three verses are very, very important verses. Here 562 is there. Here we can see here. Sri Sukadev Goswami replied, my dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing an animal, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant. Watch the mind's action. See, it's very important. In mind action, you think you will be, no, mind, okay, I have already controlled the mind, and you are not alert, you are casual, then you do not know that mind can immediately say any moment slip away. It's just like, you have a child putting uniform and going to school. But instead of going to school, you are putting uniform, having a baggage, having a tiffin, everything is pakka, right, correct. But instead of going to school, he slip away to playground. Similarly, our mind is like that. Although everything is fine, but if you neglect it, you have to, what will happen? What will happen? It will run away. Just like it is said that, just like a hunter, a cunning hunter, what happened after capturing animal? Hunter does not put faith in them. They might run away. When you capture the, a hunter capture the animal, he should be alert. Otherwise, if he not alert, they will again run away. Similarly, just like a mother is preparing a child with a school uniform, tiffin bag, tiffin box, and sending off to school. The child, instead of going to school, slip away with friend to cinema hall or playground, and then it is a very precarious situation. Therefore, mother has to be very alert, ensure that he is entering into the school. Similarly, the devotee, the transcendentalist, also should be very alert by the dint of the intelligent, because the intelligent is the master of mind. Intelligent is higher than mind. By his transcendental intelligence, he should control the mind or ensure the mind that he is not distracting and deviating, digressing. That is important. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that how the intelligent is more superior to mind. I will show you, but let me finish these three verses, very important. Sukadev Goswami is speaking. All the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless. One should not make friend with it. If you place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini from Lord Krishna. And Saubhari Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection. See how mind is so restless. Arjuna also saying the same thing. Chanchalahi manaha Krishna. Pramada Balavad Dridhan. He is very obstinate, very restless, very unbridled mind. I can capture the wind, but I cannot capture the mind. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 verse 34. Arjuna is speaking, the mind is so restless. Here it is said that mind is very restless. You should not make a friend and with him and never give full confidence in it. Because it will cheat us any moment. It will cheat us any moment. So never put faith. Even the Lord Shiva, when Lord Shiva wanted to see the Mohini, Krishna came as a Mohini Murti. And what happened? He, after the churning of ocean, he came as a Mohini Murti and tricked this demoniac. Came as a Mohini Murti to distribute the nectar which has been come out from the ocean after the churning. So there are two sides they are sitting. One is the demigods, one is demon. So Mohini Murti, he came and deluded or captivated the demons and gave all the nectar to the demigods. And when Lord Shiva came to know this news, and he has a desire to see the Mohini Murti, and Lord Krishna said that, are you sure? Because you may be deluded. He told, no, Maya is my wife, how can I be deluded? But when Lord Mohini Murti came before the Lord Shiva, what happened? Lord Shiva was deluded. He left the Parvati and running after the Mohini Murti. So how dangerous the mind is. How dangerous the mind is. Lord Shiva become agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna. How? The Lord Shiva is such a great personality. Vaishnavanam Jatha Sambhu. What to speak about the tiny yogis and all? What to speak about us? Every moment we are attacked by the mind. And Saubhari Muni also is a great sage. He was undergoing severe austerity under the water. Then he saw these fishes are copulating. And by seeing these fishes, he got the desire to marry, and he came and marry so many number of queens, As a result, he stagnated his spiritual progress. He fell down. Of course, later on he realized, and the Vishwamitra, the great sages, the same thing happened. Menaka, he saw the Menaka, hearing the Menakas, he saw the Menaka, and what happened? He fell down. So in this way, we have so many examples that great exalted personality, they have also fell down by just giving giving a way to the mind or giving a freedom to the mind, and they have fallen down. So how mind is so restless. Even little bit of if you give the freedom, it will become victorious. It will become victorious. It will become powerful. It will capture us. It will cover this constitutional position of the soul. Even to a great personality like Lord Shiva, Saubhari Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, what to speak out us. So we have to be very careful to control our mind. First of all, we know that mind is very dangerous. It will drag us. Mind is the sitting place of fear. Mind. So our subtle mind is within us, and it is the same enemy and friend. Both are sitting in the same. He is the same person. His enemy is friend. When it is properly used, it is his friend. He is not properly used. He is our enemy. So we have to be very alert and equipped, and don't put confidence in our mind. So an unchaste woman is very easily carried away by the paramour, and it sometimes happens that her husband is violently killed by her paramours. If the yogi gives his mind a chance, does not restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemy like lust, anger, greed. They will undoubtedly kill the yogi. So how dangerous it will kill us? That means it will kill it's suicidal. Suicidal it is. It will kill us, kill the yogi, just like an unchaste woman is very dangerous, because he may kill his paramours. Similarly, a yogi who gives the mind, uncontrolled mind, or gives the mind a chance, it will kill that yogi. Mind is so treacherous, so betrayer, so unfaithful. Therefore, we should never give confidence to the mind. Never give confidence to mind. Even though you are a very topmost transcendentalist, we have to be always alert, because mind is so flickering, obstinate, unbridled. Sanchalahi Manaha Krishna. Therefore, one should not always restless, always want to chill out, freak out, chill out. So therefore, one should never give a chances. Very, very important. 5, 6, 4 beautiful verses. So it is said that by 11:23:47, it is said that all the senses have been under the control of the mind since time immemorial, and the mind himself never comes under the sway of any other. He is stronger than strongest. His God-like power is fearsome. Therefore, anyone who can bring the mind under the control become master of all senses. If you control, because senses are controlled by the mind. So if you control the mind, automatically all the senses, because we have been mind is communicating with or interacting with external world using his senses, different senses, 5 senses, different senses. Therefore, if we control the mind, automatically control the senses. The mind is communicating with external world via the senses. Therefore, you control the mind and you control all the senses automatically. automatically we will control all the senses. 11, 23, 48, the next verse it is say that failing to conquer this irrepressible enemy in the mind, whose urges are intolerable, who torment the heart, many people are completely built or create useless quarrel with others, that they conclude the other people are either friends, their enemy, or parties in it. This is what we say, duality. It creates the duality mind. Because of mind, because restless mind, uncontrolled mind, he create the enemy. He is my friend, he is my enemy. In this way we are entangled in this material world. Therefore this mind has to be controlled. Mind has to be controlled by the service to the spiritual master. And it is stated in 11:28, just as the improperly treated disease recurs, gives repeated distress to patient, the mind that is not completely purified of its perverted tendency will remain attached to material thing and repeatedly torment the imperfect yogi. See, if the mind is not controlled, it will repeatedly, just like a improperly treated disease, it will again occur, reoccurs, relapse. Just like a fever, we are not properly, I have got a fever or I have got a COVID and I have not properly treated it, still it is suppressed, again it will come, it will reoccur, relapse. Similarly the mind which is not properly controlled, it will again come, because it has a tendency to the material things, so it will repeatedly comes and torment the imperfect yogi. Therefore one has to control the mind properly. You should not just untreated, And as a result, what will happen if you do not control your mind? If what will happen? What is the result? Result is very precarious. As we say that they will fall down. What will happen? Fall down if an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses, does not adhere to Vedic injunction, certainly will engage in sinful irreligious activity. Thus he will reward. His reward will be repeated birth and death. That is the consequence. That is the result of uncontrolled mind. Uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled sense means we will not adhere to Vedic junction. As a result, we will engage in the very sinful and irreligious activity. Those who are uncontrolled mind, they are engaged, they are eating anything and everything. They are doing everything not according to, not adhering to the Vedic injunction. As a result, they incurring sin, and which is and thus they will be rewarded the repeated birth and death. That is the consequence. That is the consequence, this tragic and drastic, the pathetic, painful, precarious, the tragic, consequences of uncontrolled mind, uncontrolled senses. They will become sinful, irreligious. They will not adhere. Mind is uncontrolled. Mind is uncontrolled means they will not following the Vedic principle, how to eat, how to sleep, how to everything. They do not know what is the aim of life. They will do whimsically, they will under the dictation of the mind. As a result, they will do all this adharma, irreligious, against the rule, against the law of Lord, and they will become a criminals, and they will undergo the all trial, trouble and tribulation of repeated birth and death. So that is the consequences. 11:28 it is 11:3 it is 11:28 and 11:3:45 it is say. 11:3:45 it is say. So now we have now gone through the so many Vedic reference to understand that how mind is very critical, very crucial and very dangerous, to even give a little bit of freedom, it will become really precarious for us, very dangerous for us, very jeopardize us, So therefore now solution is how to control the mind. Always we have read 5, 11, 17. We have to engage in the service of the spiritual master and Supreme Lord. And Krishna also say we have to engage the mind in the service of the Lord. Here it is say 11:9:12. The mind can be controlled when it is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Having achieved a stable situation, mind become free from polluted desire to execute material activity. Thus, as the mode of goodness increases its strength, one can completely give up mode of passion, ignorance, and gradually one transcends even the material mode of goodness. The mind is freed from the fuels and modes of nature. and the fire of material existence is extinguished, then one activates the transcendental platform of direct relationship with the object of his meditation, the Supreme Lord. See, here it is solution has been given to fix the mind on Supreme Personality of God. Krishna also says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta mad jadi mam namaskaru, mami vasyasi satyam te pratijane. Manmana bhava, always think of me. Engage in your mind in the service. 2 times emphatically say, 934 and 1865. Manmana bhava mad bhakta mad jadi mam. Mind, engage your mind in thinking of mind. Engage your mind. Even 12:8 also, Krishna says, fix your mind on me, then you will come to me. So in Bhagavad Gita, he said, no, many places he said that you fix your mind on me. Always think of me. Satatam kirtanti mamayatan tachaduddhavata. Sarvesu kalesu mama anusmana juddasa. Antakale cha mamem sarvana. Antakale cha mamem svarana mukta kalevaram. Yaprayati madabhavameti nasti atra sanchaya. So many verses of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna say, you engage your mind in thinking of me. You engage your mind in thinking of me. That is the way that you can control the mind. When you engage in the mind of thinking of Lord or engage in the devotional service of the Lord, there is no scope of the mind to go beyond the devotional service, beyond the lotus feet of the Lord. So automatically mind is controlled by engaging the service. Ursikena ursikesa sevanam. With the senses, with the mind, we should engage the master of the mind, master of the senses is Krishna. Then only mind is controlled. That is the solution has been given here. 1865 Krishna manmana bhava mad bhakta mad jadi mam upes mam namaskar mam vivasyasi satyam te pratijane priyosimi. These are the thing. Therefore it says that transcendentally who does not complete control his mind by superior intelligence will find his spiritual bhai, austerity, charity flow away just as a water flow out of. So this as we have been read that here it is there in Bhagavad Gita also 342 that the what is this called, the rank is given. Indrani parani ahur indreva parama mana manastatu parabuddhiriya buddhe parastatu. The working senses are superior to all matter. Mind is higher than senses. Intelligent is still higher than mind, and he, the soul, even higher than intelligence. That means intelligent we can control the mind, and the soul we can control the intelligent. Therefore, if we are Krishna consciousness, then automatically our intelligence become purified. When our intelligence become purified, we can control the mind. When we control the mind with transcendental intelligence, we control the senses. When we control the senses, then we are liberated. We are liberated. That is the beautiful, the chronological order, the sequence of the rank and files given. How the important the Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna says one is not connected with Krishna consciousness. That is very difficult to get the mind control, peace of mind, everything. 265 Krishna say, 266 Krishna say that very nice verse. Nasti buddhi rajukta nachajuktasya bhavana nacha bhavayanti santi rasantasya kutasukam. Everybody is looking after happiness using this mind, but because this mind is always after sense, this happiness is very flickering. He is going after flickering happiness because uncontrolled mind. If it is a controlled mind, it will go to a spiritual happiness. One who is not connected with supreme in Krishna consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor steady mind. See, without which there is no possibility of peace. How can there be any happiness without peace? So we have to become Krishna consciousness, means we have to engage in the service of the Krishna. In this way we will have a transcendental intelligence. And transcendental intelligence means we will have a steady mind, because intelligent is the controller of the mind, director of the mind. When we have a very steady mind and transcendental intelligence, by dint of our Krishna consciousness, by dint of engaging in the service of Krishna, manmana bhava mada bhakta mada jadi mam namaskuru, then we will have a peace, happiness. We will have happiness and peace. Not only that, we will go back to Godhead. So everything is so connected, so interconnected. Very, very important verses. Therefore, a devotee's duty is to how to control the mind. Savai Manaha Krishna. We should follow the Mahajana. Who is Mahajana? Great Bhakta. Ambrish Maharaj. What Ambrish Maharaj used to do, control the mind, we should follow them. Mahajana Dena Gata Sapanta. Very simple way, formula to control the mind. Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravinda Bachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvannane Karo Hare Mandira Marjan Disu Srutim Chakra Achutta Sat Kathadaya. This is the formula of controlling the mind. Maharaj Ambrish always engages mind in meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. His words in describing the glories of the Lord. His head is cleansing the lost temple. His ears in hearing the words spoken by the Krishna or about Krishna. He engages eyes in seeing the deity of Krishna. Krishna's temple, Krishna's place like Mathura, Vrindavan. He engages senses to touch in touching the bodies of the Lord devotee. Engages sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of Tulasi offered to the Lord. He engages tongue in tasting the Lord's prasada. He engages legs in walking to the holy places and temples of the Lord. His head is bowing down before the Lord. All his desires in serving the Lord 24 hours a day. Indeed, Maharaj Ambrish never desired anything for his own sense gratification. He engaged all the senses in devotional service, in the various engagement related to the Lord. This is the way to increase the attachment for the Lord, be completely free from material desire. This is the thing. This is the formula. Ambrish Maharaj is showing practical example how to control the mind, how to control the sense, simply by Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravinda Bachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvan. Bachamsi Vaikuntha Gunan. Always engage it. Mukunda Mala also, Kulasekara is saying, no. Panipatya Jache. Mukunda Mudna Panipatya Jache. Bhavantam Ekantam Yantam Artham. अवस्मिति तो चरणारविंद भवे भवे में अस्तु भवता प्रसादात. My Lord, I have only desired that I should never forget. I always engage my mind in thinking of your lotus feet. Always remember your lotus feet. Mind means what? Mind is willing, remembering, feeling. Mind has no faculty reasoning of what is adjudicate, what is wrong and right. That is intelligent. Intelligent has a reasoning power. Mind has no reasoning power. Therefore, intelligent is higher to transcendental intelligence, to control to engage the mind in the service of the Krishna. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is very important. Krishna consciousness teaches us how to engage in the mind, in our intelligent. Maya arpita manobuddhir. Krishna says, Maya arpita manobuddhir. All your intelligent mind should be engaged in my service, should be thinking of me. Maya arpita manobuddhir mam ivassasya samsaya. No doubt you will come to me because your mind and intelligence fix on me. That is Krishna said to Arjuna. Although everybody is working, yes sir, I am working, what to do? My mind is always occupational duty. Krishna said, no. Service kalesu mamamsa. Never mind, you do. You don't leave your job. But at the same time, you remember me. Sarvesu kalesu mamanusmana juddyacha maya arpita manobuddhir mam ivassasi satyamte. Mam ivassasi asamsayam. There is no doubt that you will definitely come to me if you engage your mind. At the same time, Arjuna is fighting at the same time thinking of Krishna. We can do by practice. Krishna says in very next verse, it can be done just like Prabhupada used to give example. The two things can be done at the same times. When you just like in you have seen in Rajasthan and all, the women which put on their head the water pot, at the same time they are carrying holding his children, and they can balance both the things. They can hold the children and can also hold this water pot. Similarly, by practice we can do that. By practice, if you love somebody, you are always there. Either you here and there, you think of him. Even the greatest, even you engage in so many material activities, always think of him. If you love somebody, even after you are in workplace, you will think of him or her. Similarly, if you develop the love for Krishna, you will always think of Krishna, even though amidst of your busy schedule. Therefore, Krishna consciousness means prema pumartha mahan, how to develop the love for Krishna so that we can think 24 hours a day. Manmana bhava mad bhakta, always think of me. Satatam kirtante mam jatantasya duddhavata namassanta chamad bhakta nitya jukta vasate. Madagata madachita prana bodhoyanti parasparam kathayanta cha mam nityam. Kathayanta cha mam nityam dushtanti cha ramanti cha. Mahatman sumam partha bhajanti ananya manasa, always undeviatedly engage in the service of the Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means how to control the mind by engaging in the service of the devotional service, loving service of the Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna. So this is the thing, that how we can control the mind. So so it is said, one of the verses 11:323, a sincere disciple should learn to disassociate the mind from everything material and positively cultivate association with spiritual master and other saintly devotee. He should be merciful to those in an inferior position to him, cultivate friendship, very important verses, it is there in Nectar of Instruction also, cultivate friendship with those of an equal level and meekly serve those who are higher spiritual position. Thus he should learn to deal properly with living beings. Disassociate mind from everything material and positively cultivate the association of spiritual master and other saintly devotees. See, that is the disciple. Very, very sincere disciple means, first thing what he will do, disassociate with mind and positively, not only disassociate mind, oh I am not interested in this, but engage the mind of what? With cultivate the association with spiritual master and other. That means following the instruction of the spiritual master in association of duty. Tandera charana sevi bhakta sane bas janame janame hoye ehi avilas. Tandera charana sevi bhakta sane bas. I should execute the devotional service in association of devotee. That is the perfection of a sincere disciple. Then he will go back to Godhead. Then he will go back to. That is the proper way Prabhupada has taught us. That is the way we should control the mind. Very, very sublime and easy way to control mind means engage in the service of the Lord in following the instruction of the spiritual master in association of duty. That is the sum and substances of these verses, how to control the mind. This is a very, very important instruction of all Vedic literature, how to control the mind, in engage in the service of the spiritual master, service of the Lord, by following, adhering the instruction of spiritual master in association with devotee. In association, not alone. Alone Maya will attack. Alone, in association of devotee, association will protect us from being attacked by mind. That is the sum and substances, sonam and bonum of these verses, how to control the mind. So thank you very much. So we will end this class, beautiful verses. This is mind. So therefore you should not go behind the mind. Don't go behind the mind. Go beyond the mind means control the mind. Go beyond the mind means go control the mind. Don't come under the detection of the mind, under the dictatorialship of mind, because he will again show his attitudes. He shows his attitudes. He will high-handedness. He will do the high-handed, condescending, scornful attitudes. He will show his attitude of high-handedness, dictatorialship. Therefore, we should go beyond. Therefore, Krishna is the mind is your friend, mind is your enemy. So don't give power of attorney to mind. Thank you. Don't make your mind a mentor, but mentor, understanding that it is not a mentor, it is a tormentor. So thank you very much. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.